Hey, so today we are going to talk about how to stop burning out from doing one-on-one coaching calls. As you can see, I am in full mom mode today. So I'm going to try to deliver this content in this video in a timely manner before Tobias wakes up. So if you're new to me, welcome. If you've been here before, thank you for watching me. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Tina Martin Chandler. I am a operations coach and I help health coaches to onboard, manage, and increase their client retention by hiring a community manager for your group coaching program. So if you are a health coach out there, subscribe, make sure that you send me, make sure that you follow me and that we stay in contact, because if you have a goal to increase the lifespan of the clients that are working with you this year, and you want to do it by transitioning out of all of the offers that you are offering and putting them into maybe like a group coaching program, and hiring someone to help you manage that group coaching program, I'm your girl. I'll be able to help you do that. So, what I want to talk to you about is really how to get out of the burnout that coaches, health coaches specifically, experience from doing so many different one-on-one calls. And I did a poll inside of my Instagram stories earlier today, just asking like, how many one-on-one calls are you really doing a week? I want you to think about it. Is it taken away from your health? Is it taken away from like your time? Maybe you love it because you just love serving your clients and it's something that you want to do. But chances are that if you are trying to scale in any capacity, or you're trying to take the business, to another income threshold, another height, and like I said, trying to scale, it's going to be really hard for you to do that with one-on-one services being weaved throughout all of your programs the way that it currently is right now. So the first step to this, and stay with me because I'm going to give you, I think this will really help you today. Um, the first tangible thing, or the first decision, I should say, that you would need to make so that you can get out of that burnout phase of doing so much one-on-one work is like you really have to make the decision to just trim down. If you're going to scale, and if you're going to, I think of it this way, like if you were um, a track runner, like a cross country runner, right? And you wanted to increase your time, like your speed times, or, I don't have the right terminology, but my little sister runs track. So maybe think about it. Um, but if you wanted to like increase your speed time, or you wanted to increase how fast you're going, right? Like when you do your runs, you wouldn't add more weight, to your body in order to run. Like you wouldn't put on heavier clothes, or you wouldn't want to put on extra pounds, or you wouldn't want to gain a lot of weight and muscle. You would want to be like slim and trim, and you would want to be able to move quickly, right? It's about like your fluidity in your movements. And so I kind of think about a business in the same way, or to put it into another, to put it another way, think about like an animal. Think about like a gazelle. Gazelle. Yeah, think about like an animal that has to, be quick on its feet to survive, right? Maybe like a cheetah or something like that. Think about those animals that have to be quick on their feet in order to survive in the jungle, right? That's a good way to describe business, because sometimes it is sink or swim. Sometimes it's every man for himself. When you're building a business, it's not easy, or it's not easy. So if you were like one of those animals that had to move fast or think quick on their feet, or you had to move quickly to get your prey and make sure that you eat and you can feed your family at the end of the night, you have to be trim, and you have to be fast, and you have to be able to move quickly, which means you can't have a lot weighing your body down, right? Like you don't see cheetahs with like huge fur coats. Like you don't see cheetahs with like a whole lot of weight on them like a bear, or you don't see them big like hippos, right? I don't know why I'm thinking about animals, but we were watching one of the animal like educational shows this morning for Tobias, so that's probably why it's on my mind. But you don't see that. Like a cheetah is slim, a cheetah is trim, right? And so it's the same thing with your business. If you want your business to scale and you want it to go faster, you want it to go to certain heights at a quicker rate, you have to slim it down. It has to be trim. it can't be like storing fat. It can't be really thick like a bear. Like it has to be slim and trim. So that's the decision that you have to make, is like how are you going to trim down your business? And 9 times out of 10, it's going to start with you trimming down your offers. Like you have to trim down your offers because, hey, I can guarantee that like right now, with the amount of one-on-one calls that you're doing, 9 times out of 10, you're probably doing them in at least 3 programs. And drop a one in the comments if that's you, right? You're probably offering at least 3 programs right now, if not more. And if you have like 3 or more offers right now, you have to trim down. You have to slim down so that you can scale. So the decision that you have to make is like, how do I trim this out? How do I cut some of the fat, right? And I know you may think that you need all of your offers because you need places for your clients to go, but the truth of the matter is, you have to put on like what I think of as like the one thing mindset. So if you ever read that book, The One Thing, I don't have it in front of me, but it's a really good book. I would suggest you go check out that book if you never read it. But basically, that book shows you like the power of focusing on just one thing at a time, and how things can, how basically how compound interest would work, or how compound interest works when you focus on one thing at a time. Like it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger over time because your energy and your thought process is so lasered in and it's so focused on one thing. And if you have your focus, what's up, son? Oh, you're fine. Sorry, guys, my son walked in. If you have your mind like focused on spreading yourself across 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 different offers, or like 3 or 4 different programs, you're trying to deliver results for all of those programs. You're trying to sign up clients for each of these programs. Like you're trying to do one-on-one calls for each of these offers. It's too much, and your focus is spread so thin that it's no way you'd be able to scale or move quickly with all of the extra fat. And I know the mindset around this is, well, I have to have multiple offers for clients because once they finish this 6-week program, then they need to go into like this 12-week, and then they need to go into this 1-year program. And I understand that. However, that's another conversation for another day. But think about it this way. If your client really wants to work with you and they're really interested in working with you, and you present them 4 different programs, right, that they can get involved with, but are you able to tell them the difference and what they'll be able to accomplish when they're finished each of those 4 programs? Like, do you know the exact result that people get from your 12-week program versus the result they get in your 6-month program versus what they get in your higher level program? Like, can you specifically say what the one result is somebody would get from working with you in those different capacities? Because if you can't, it's extra fat and you need to cut it if you want to scale. So that's the decision that you have to make, is just to cut down, trim down, and like I said, cut some of the fat, right? Less options just means a better experience for your client. So if you can give them less options, let's say you cut down to maybe 1 or 2 different things. If you could give them those less options, however, those less options means there's more clarity. You can actually deliver on things that you're giving to them. You're very focused on what the result is going to be when they finish that first program versus the second one. It brings your client experience up to a whole nother level, and that also will increase your client retention. And I know this to be true because, for example, I pivoted and recreated one of my own group coaching program earlier in the year. In January was when I finally relaunched it after working on it pretty much all of the end of last year. And I finally put it out there and like relaunched it. And I had, uh, um, my first like cohort of clients come in. And then I had a client who she, basically moved on to something else. She had a few plans with her business and she needed to pop out into a different program that she was already currently working in before she was working with me. However, because my program is so trimmed down, it's so slimmed down, and it's so clear on what the result is going to be, like after we work together, she has already committed to rejoining and being a part of the program when we launch again for 2022, because it's the client experience is there. Like before a person even becomes a client, the experience is there. And it does cause people to rave about your program, and it does cause people to want to be a part of your program. So basically what I'm is basically what I'm saying is if you could trim that down, if you could trim that down and you can make that decision, people are going to want to, people are going to gravitate towards that. Your clients don't need 5 or 6 different offers. They just need you to have the 1 or 2 that they're very clear about what they're getting out of it, and it makes sense for them to just make a decision with one of those 2 programs. So that's the first thing. That's the first thing. And sorry, I'm picking up my notes. I want to make sure I hit on the points that I wanted to make. So how do you take that step to make that decision, right? Like, how do you take that step? Like I said, that step is you have to basically design what you want your client experience to be like. You have to just decide. And I believe that focusing, or from my experience, focusing on your client experience truly allows you to add another piece to your business that allows you to stand out from your competitors, because you'll become known for not just the features, or should I say not just the features that you put in your program, but like the benefits people actually get from working with you. And you'll become known for that experience, and people are looking for an experience, especially if you run a coaching program of any kind online. There's a lot of really great coaches out there, but there's also a lot of trash coaches too. And I'm not downing anybody at all. I'm just saying you hear it from your own clients about some of the experiences they have in these other programs and with other people who don't put experience first. And so you want to make sure that you're putting client experience at the top of the list. And that is the reason that you want to start trimming some of the fat and cutting some of these things down, including your one-on-one calls. Because the truth of the matter is, you may feel like your one-on-one calls are the reason people are getting results, or you may feel like, they're hiring you, they're joining your program to specifically work with you, but you may be your own worst enemy. Like, you may be the one that's in the way, and you may be your own bottleneck. So if you can put that client experience first and you make that priority, it really makes people feel like, wow, not only did I invest in a program to learn something, but I also invested into this program because it transformed, how I saw myself as a person. And it transformed the confidence I had in myself or in my health, or right, because you're a health coach. So you want clients to feel transformed from the inside out, not just because you can give them certain meal recipes, or just because you help them fix something that was going on with their hormones. It's an experience from top to bottom. So that's how you decide to make that's how you make that decision. Is you say, what's important to me is my client experience. And the way you tie it to the business goal is, your business goal is to increase your client retention. You want clients to stay clients longer, right? So if that's your business goal, is to increase your client retention, then you need to directly tie that to making your client experience the best in the industry. Like, it has to be the best in the game, period. Right? Period. So that's how you make that decision. So how do you take this? How do you actually do it? Or let me say this. The next thing I want to share with you is, like, what steps do you actually need to implement? So there's 3. When I do this, or when I help my clients do this, there's actually 3 of them. And the first thing is, you need to look at the last, I would say, look at the last, over, since you've been in business, you have to do some work to actually accomplish this. But since you've been in business, right? Think about who your top clients were, like your rock stars, your A+ clients. If you could just duplicate and replicate that person and only work with them as clients for like the rest of the life of your business, you would be literally in heaven. So you know what I'm saying? Like, who are those people for you in your business? And if you could look at who your top clients were, there's 2 things you should really focus on. It's what were those clients' troubles, and then what was their transformation? Like, what troubles did they have before they started working with you, or as they were working with you, because you want to take all of that into account too. Everybody focuses on like the pain points and selling to people, selling to help people, um, selling to help their clients overcome pain and help them fix a problem. But remember, clients also go through pain and they experience new problems while they're in your program too. So if you could focus on how you how you deliver your I don't want to get off track, but if you could focus on like what you do with your clients through that entire process, not just how you sell them into the program, but how you support them as they're going through the program. And as they're encountering those new troubles and those new trials and tribulations, how do you help them through that journey of transforming, right? So look at their troubles, look at their transformations, and look at the similarities between the two. If you could do that, right? If you could do that, um, then I want you to write them down. And sorry guys, like I said, I'm in like full mom mode right now. I was committed to doing this live stream. So um if you could write those down, hey baby, if you could write those down and get them on paper, that's the first step. That's the first step to accomplishing this, okay? And so the next step is look at the price point of what you're currently like offering, your current offers. What's the price point of each of your offers? I don't care if it's the 6-week program, 12-week program, 12-month program, whatever. What's the price point of those current offers? Write that down. Then across from that, write down how those price points relate to your income goals. And think about this on think about it on from quarter to quarter. So like what's your income goals for each quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? And then how are the price points of your offers, how do they directly relate to the income that you've been making each quarter and the income that you want to be making each quarter? Are those program prices helping you to hit those goals? Are they hindering you from hitting those goals? And to be more specific, if your goal is to increase your your monthly retention rate, I had to think about the name for a second. If your business goal is to increase like your monthly retention rate, or like increase those payments that clients are bringing to you every single month, then that's what I want you to focus on. Is like, are you tracking that? Are you paying attention to if the programs that you're currently offering, whether they're contributing to the monthly recurring rate, whether they're increasing that monthly recurring rate, are they decreasing the monthly recurring rate? Are they actually helping your goals or harming your goals? Because if you put this out into whatever it is that you use to do your finances, like whatever it is that you do to do your tracking, your KPI tracking, right? Are you noticing or paying attention to how those programs are actually hurting or helping your goals? Because what we do as coaches is we think that, okay, because I need to increase my income for this next month, or this next time frame, or whatever it is, I need to offer something else. Okay, baby, you can lay down. Right? I need to offer something else. I need to sell something else. So you go and create a new offer, or you go and sell something new. And most of the times, you don't even need to go offer something or sell something brand new. It's not that you need to do that. You don't need to offer or sell something brand new. What you need to do is look at what your current offers are. Which one of your current offers are like most contributing to the monthly recurring revenue that you want to make? Most of the times, you need to just like nail down and laser in and focus in on one of your offers a little bit more, versus going and creating something entirely new that's not put together all the way, that's not clear, your deliverables aren't laid out, people don't know what they're getting once they're done with the program. Like, that's what you don't want to do. Because when you keep creating new offers to make more money versus nailing down and focusing in on what your current offers are already doing, so you could just increase your income based on what you already have rolling, you're putting out more expenses, you're putting out more hard work, you are burning yourself out more. And that's why you feel like, and this whole live stream is about how to stop burning out from one-on-one calls. That's another reason you feel so burnt out from one-on-one calls, is because you keep adding them to the calendar, because you keep creating new offers. And so the mindset is like less for more. It's literally transitioning out of, okay, I had to work. I used to have to work this 9 to 5, and if I wanted to make more money on my paycheck, that means I had to work overtime. If I wanted to make more money, for holiday bonuses or for Christmas or whatever it was, that means I needed to put more time in at my job. Well, when you're in business as a coach, you don't have to do that. It's quite the opposite. It's how do I trim the fat? How do I cut something out? How do I add a layer of support in my current program that's already here? How do I do something within this train that we already have running on the tracks so that we can increase revenue from the inside out? So that's the second thing is like, look at your price points of your programs and look at how they relate to your current income goals. Are they serving or are they sacrificing your desired revenue? Like, that's the question. Yeah. So the third step from this, so first thing is like, just to do a recap, the first thing is like, you want to look at your client troubles and their transformation and find the similarities between those. Like, out of your top clients, what were their troubles, what were their transformations, and then find the similarities. The second thing is look at your price point of your current programs. How do they relate to your income goals? Are they boosting your monthly recurring revenue, or are they or are they disintegrating your monthly recurring revenue? Because that's possible. That's possible too. And you'll look at your wherever it is you whatever it is you're using to track your finances, like that's where you'll be able to find out that percentage and find out that information. Okay. The last step is which offer which offer is which offer out of all of the analyzing you just did, which offer has the price point that is boosting your income goals and helping you actually reach that monthly recurring revenue, and takes into account those client troubles, has delivered clients the biggest transformation, and the one that you can totally focus in on right now with the least amount of effort. Okay, so I'm gonna say that one more time. Like, which offer is spot on and fits each of those points? Now, again, you can cut down and you can decide to, trim the fat and just go to like one or two offers, because I'm not here to teach you how to like structure offers. I could, but that's not what I'm here to do. What I'm really here to do is get you to change your mindset around how to deliver a phenomenal client experience that absolutely nobody in your industry can duplicate like you, period. Like, that's what I'm here to do. So, and the way you do that is by starting with this work right here. It has to be a win-win situation for your clients where it makes sense for them. It's not confusing to them. They know what result they're getting after they work with you. And the price point has to be something that works on both ends. It's an investment that makes them want to show up and do the work. And it's an investment that helps you to get in profit and stay there, period. Like, that's what it is. So that's the steps you need to take to implement. And then the way that I would be able to help you the way that I could serve you and help you in this transition in your own business is that I can give you, this was just like a tactic. This was just like one little tiny little piece out of my program that I pulled out to share and to help you to see how just the smallest tweak, the smallest change in how you're currently presenting offers and how you're currently approaching your client experience can make such a drastic shift in your business. I wanted to show you how just the smallest thing could help you do that. So there's literally like 6 modules of this in my program, Hire Great Help. And so the way that I can help you, the way that I can make this easier for you to take action is, one, I could give you full support around this process, not just myself. I do have a team of people behind me. I do have a team that comes in and actually helps you, coach you through this process of how to make these shifts in your business. And then from like an operational standpoint, how to actually start implementing some of this into your day-to-day operations, how to set up your workflow so that you can actually accomplish this client experience and actually deliver these programs without burning out by doing all of the one-on-one calls on your own, and then having to tell your VA or your EA or whoever it is you have working with you, your assistant coach, when to schedule calls, when to book calls, who needs a follow-up. Like, right now, it's all pouring out of your head. And the way that I can help you and support you and making this easier is teaching you how to pull this stuff out of your head and not just put it onto paper, but put it into position so that you can actually take the thing, put it into your Asana, put it into your Trello, and start working this with your team. If you don't have a team yet and it's only one of you guys, that's what we specialize in, teaching you, okay, this is what you have created thus far. This is who needs to be hired so that this thing can be ran properly. And then once you hire them, how do you actually onboard them and train them and teach them to run the system? That's what we do. So to make it short, the way I can make this easier for you is actually helping you get this entire like strategy out of your head and on the paper so that you can get it running in a in an ample amount of time where your business has the ability to scale in the next 6 to 12 months. Like, it's possible for you to do it. You're just not going to be able to get there by delivering so much of the one-on-one stuff that you're doing right now. So what I would love you to do is comment below this video, number one, if this was helpful to you, if something stood out to you, so that I can, know which part of this was most helpful so that I can create more videos around that. And after you do that, make sure that you send me a DM, just DM the word hire to me so that I know that this is something you may be interested in. And what I will do is I will invite you to book a hire help call with one of our specialists so that we can look at where you are with your business and really discuss how you may be able to start phasing out some of that one-on-one work and some of those one-on-one calls that you're doing with your clients, and phase out the one-on-one work without sacrificing their experience, because that's really what matters. I would love to, hear about your business and learn more about where you are and what your goals are and what you'd like to accomplish over the next few months. So go ahead and send me a DM with the word hire, and I will get in touch with you so we can book that call. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Share this out. Make sure you follow. If you're on Instagram, make sure you follow my page. Make sure you comment and let me know if this video was helpful to you. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, and you also leave a comment so that I know if this was helpful to you. And if you need the help and you don't have time to search for another month or 2 months, or trying to figure out what's the best next step for you, and you just know you need to scale, stop scrolling, searching, send me a DM, and let's just have a conversation about what the next best step may be for you. Okay. All right. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you for joining me. Bye.